Hey everyone, welcome to season 2, episode 7. I'm super excited about this episode. You guys get to tune into something that happens on a regular basis, which is just a genuine conversation between my friend for 10 plus years, Mr. Bain, Mr. Enrico Bain, our millennial entrepreneur of today. So guys, here's the issue. We recorded almost like an hour more of this episode that included conversations about his development as far as his faith, singleness. We talk about therapy for men, all the things, and we encountered an issue with the audio. And so you won't be able to catch that on this episode, but what that means is that we will be bringing him back for part 2. So I hope that you find value in this and enjoy it. Okay, hey everyone. So welcome to episode, I don't know what number episode this is going to be yet, to be honest. But I am here with a very dear friend. He's gangbang now, family, if you will. Enrico Bain, his name would be on the bottom there somewhere. So, as with Shante, I think the whole objective of this episode is just to have a conversation that we have all the time. I have known Enrico since 2015. And I think from then we've been thousands of conversations, thousands of times. I'm like, bro, we got to get in front of the camera and talk about these things. I think that people could benefit from it. And so this is just that, like you literally just being eyes to something that we talk about, or things that we talk about all the time. Just a relaxed conversation. So yeah, let's start. But I was gonna say something just now. Do you remember how we met? Let me see if memory good.
Say
if you had to tell, if someone had asked you like how y'all met, how y'all know each other.
Yeah.
It's the key thing I listen to know for.
To the play.
Keep going.
I saw you was doing the play.
You saw me was doing the play. Interesting.
I think so, wasn't it?
No.
You was doing the play though.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to help. I offered to assist.
You offered to assist.
And I recommended some of my friends who wanted to be in it.
Okay.
They're
out there about 2015. I wrote a play in 2011 actually called Choices in Freeport. And then when I was going off to I was going off to school in Barbados. I did it as a fundraiser. I reached out to Holly.
Correct.
And I was like, hey, would you want to be in a play? And he was like, I think he was traveling or something. He was like, not my speed, but let me put you on to my boy that I think would be good for that. Correct. Came to this fella and he's like, yeah, no, but I will help. I'm not coming on stage.
And I recommended 1 or 2 people, and Ontario ended up being in it.
That's true. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Because he was like, recommend. I'm like, maybe he's talking about stage hands, but that is true. Okay, so yeah, that's how I was trying to see if you really remember. And then we've been gang ever since. Okay, so. Oh, I don't have it here. So there is, I do have it. So there's a part of this that I have D and pop quiz. That's what I did there because you like it?
Pop. I see you.
Okay.
I see you.
So this really just is like an intro for people who don't know you. So it's some questions that you did not get to see beforehand. I may mix up the order. So let's see. Favorite place that you've traveled or your bucket list destination? Let's do both. Favorite place that you've traveled?
It would have to be New York.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Like I literally remember walking in Times Square and being in.
Yeah, coming from down in the subway and you walking up the steps to the whole walking up the steps to the height of it. I can't remember.
I just know when I saw it, it was so much to take in, and I think at that moment in my life, it was the most my eyes have ever seen at one time. Like it was a lot, babe.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay, and bucket list destination.
I don't have one.
You don't got a bucket list destination?
Maybe like, I don't want like Japan, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could dig it. Okay. Funniest rumor you've heard about you.
Hey, yo. Damn. The funniest is probably, I can't.
Can I say it?
Yeah, I can't say that. That's funny.
Go to the second funniest then.
The second funniest? I don't know, babe.
Most interesting one that you've heard then.
The most interesting one is probably me being gay, unfortunately. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
And it's a rumor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was going to say I could vouch, but I can't vouch, but I know you But I know you well enough.
You see me moving through
I know you.
Yeah,
I know you long enough.
You see me doing my thing.
I know you long enough. What's your comfort food?
I like fruits. So that's weird.
Come on, this is your story.
I working on that. So I watch what I eat.
Okay.
I go to a fridge and just grab a tangerine or grab a orange.
Comfort food. Whole
food.
The notion of a comfort food is if I had a very long day. That one thing that that thing that just gets me like calms me down like.
Sweet potato fries and some wings. Like hot, like sweet chili. You know,
that is your job.
Guava barbecue with a spicy, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sound like Twisted Lime still, or the wings from they didn't sponsor me, but Sunset
wings, or Palm Tree Delight, but Sunset wings though too, especially. I can't tell you because I know I got crowded.
Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. The last book you read or book you are currently reading? Two really rocking my world right now, no lie. One is Buy Back Your Time. Buy Back Your Time.
Buy Back Your Time. I can't remember his name. Dan something. It's a book about entrepreneurship, but it's really good because I feel like it's speaking to my pain points like right now.
Okay.
And then it's helping me to kind of shape my business as I read it, as well as it's encouraging me in some stuff I was already doing. It's showing me like, hey, you on the right track, because stuff he's telling me to do, I was already thinking about it. I haven't been doing everything he's saying, but I was already thinking like, I need to do this, and then he's saying this is what you need to do.
Okay.
So that's cool. And then the second one I'm listening to now is called The E-Myth Revisited.
The E-Myth?
E-Myth. I think E is for entrepreneur.
Oh, okay.
The E-Myth Revisited. That's pretty cool too. Very, very cool story. So the small gist of it is, most entrepreneurs kind of have this. They have this like, we call it entrepreneur seizure, right? So you on your job and you saying, by time I work with my boss, I can do this better than my boss, da 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 da, right? Mm-hmm. And you go and you stop and you start your own business. Mm-hmm. The problem is, a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't have. So a real business person is made up of three parts. So he would say there's a technician, the manager, and then I think the owner. Mm-hmm. Most entrepreneurs are great technicians, but they're horrible business owners and they're horrible managers. And so you find that they crash in the early stages because I know how to, like, for example, I know how to bake a cake, mm-hmm. but I'm not good with bookkeeping and mm-hmm. customer service.
The orders and doing whatever.
You see what I'm saying? Records, I know how to fix a car, mm-hmm. but I suck with, billing, handling people, accounts, billing. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. And so he's just teaching you how to be those different things, and how to kind of scale your business from 1 to a million.
They both sound interesting.
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Okay, one thing you spend too much money on.
Too much?
Mm-hmm.
I spend too much money on probably food. I eat out a lot.
I was waiting for you to say that.
I eat out a lot.
To say anything else, I was gonna blast you.
Eat out.
Okay, what would be your red flag?
My red flag. Damn. My red flag on camera? Like, you can't talk about a red flag?
I would know what it is. So
you would know?
Well, I may name one or two, but
that. You my red flag?
No,
that's
not
crazy, bro. You can tell me. What tell me, then?
Afterwards.
That's crazy.
We talked about that. So
my red flag.
Yeah, like if you think about your exes, their exes would say, "What is a red flag about you?" Hey, it's like
nah, bro.
Don't go with the most. That means you have a problem there, because you sound like you go into the most extreme, or you trying to say you won't have none.
No,
it can't be that.
You know what? My red flag.
Because it didn't have to be.
Yeah, it's it's something that you said before, and I don't know if it's a red flag though.
Let's talk it out.
It could be too friendly.
Too friendly?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, you giggly, babe. I don't.
Yeah,
and it depends. So it's for some.
Cool.
So for a woman like me, probably. But I even consider it a red flag, because I see that being a bonus and a thing. But that could be red flag. Red flags are very much subjective as well. So it doesn't have to be like cultural or traditional red flags.
I don't know my red flag.
So we can go with that one.
Okay. Yeah.
We can go with that one. What is your go-to karaoke song?
John Legend. No, Mario. Let Me Love You. Yeah.
Okay. What would be your? It's crazy. You can say no.
Go ahead.
People don't know that you can sing.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do a little that.
Stop playing me. That's the reason why I don't tell him when I can sing, because he was always say, "Sing something."
I understand.
It's karaoke.
It's funny. I mean, I think it went well. What would be your most played? What would be your most played song of the year?
Stop playing, me.
I hear you like Kendrick. Come on.
Iceman coming out May 15th.
You need to change your picture. That giving me an ick.
I will. To another version of that.
He sent you all the ones. Put up it.
Well, he didn't send it to me. Chubb sent it to me.
Move on.
He was busy.
What is your most played song of the year?
Teenage Fever is probably my favorite song last year.
She ain't bad.
By Drake.
What would be the title of your biography?
The title of my biography would be The Great Turnaround.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that. And lastly, what are you praying most for in this season?
What am I praying for most in this season? To come home. Yeah.
My grandma in them church at the end, you sing a song, "Come Home."
You know that, bro. Come on. Hallelujah.
Come home. He who has fallen, where we come home.
Scary. Okay.
Anyway, don't worry about it. I can find a way to do it. You know that?
No.
Practice the English. That's a hymn. Like, that's a very popular hymn. You should know that.
Don't know it.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the meat of the things.
Okay.
So, obviously, the podcast is about millennials. You and I are both millennials. You are age
35.
35, which means that you were born in 1970. 19 what? 19?
90?
1990. You played that so. I know it, but I guess I didn't because it works for conversation. So I was born 1994. You were born 1990. So on TikTok, they was talking about this thing where it was saying how, but those in our 30s, specifically those from 35 and under, or just millennials in general, but particularly our age group, had that good mix of we got to experience the 90s, but we also got to experience early 2000s, whatever. I feel like I can't necessarily say that all the way because 1994, like I was a babe. Yeah, so I think that the only reason I highlight that is because 1990 means that you got to experience the 90s more than that I would have.
A little bit, but we all were young. But I think I experienced it a little bit more.
9 years ago?
But I was a baby. I was young.
Yeah, but you still got some aware.
Like I literally remember wearing feelers. I remember glow in the dark tennis. I remember. Like, if you watch Fresh Prince and you see, like, what he used to wear when like in the first episodes, I remember stuff like that. I remember getting my hair cut. I have pictures of me with a high top haircut.
Right.
But more than that, I had older cousins who connected me with the 80s even. So that was cool. That was cool.
So that's why I say, like, your awareness of it. Like, I don't remember the 90s. You would have intricate memories of the 90s.
For sure.
Things that I would remember would be what I see or just very little, like shows or whatever. But again, I would have experienced those in the early 2000s. You got to live it out. So that's why I highlighted that 1990 point, which I think is really cool because you really got to experience it. So again, I pointed that out to say the podcast, as you know, is strictly based on millennials, and that's a lot of what we're going to talk about today. So most of what we're going to be talking about is from the perspective of that of a millennial. And going back to what you just said, I think it's perfect. The interesting thing for me is I feel like, and I said this the other day, I think on the podcast live episode, I talked about the fact that I don't think nobody has it harder than millennials. I feel like we've had to see so many different things. Like we lived through 9/11 and what that changed, how that changed life. We lived through COVID.
I remember that. I remember 9/11.
Really? Mm-hmm. Like where you wasn't like? Mm-hmm.
I remember. I don't remember. I don't know what I was doing, but I remember literally I was small. I was getting ready for school, and it was like a news thing on the screen, and they took over what I was on TV.
That's crazy.
And my music, get ready for school. But I walked past and I saw it, and then when we went to school, I think school out early and all because they didn't know what was going on.
I know definitely did in the States.
School out early, yeah.
And based on our proximity to the U.S., I could imagine that being a thing for real. So see, so again, that's what I'm saying, babe. Like you get, even though that was in 2000,
I was super young.
But you call memories.
Yeah.
So anyway, 9/11, COVID, we get to experience a black president. We get to see the era of going from that big box computer and everybody doing whatever. I literally remember having doing my homework, using encyclopedias, cutting out stuff of the phone book, all these other things, to us now being in a full digital age.
Going to the library.
Real.
Go into the library.
Real. So all these things that we got to experience as millennials coming out into adulthood, it's like it's a culture shock. I don't know if I sent it to you on TikTok. I know I sent it to the girls because it was mainly that. Have you seen? I haven't seen the male version. So there's this think about a 90s movie with the corporate woman and how she was dressed. Think about that big long brick phone. Think about like the long car, the house, the big penthouse or whatever like that. Or a certain aspects of adulthood that we saw that we were younger, and now that we're the new adults is like, what this is?
Yeah, no, fact.
Like
fact.
What this is like. So the question is, how has your view on adulthood shifted now that you're an adult? Because being the 90s kid and probably aspiring for certain, like, I can't wait till I get older. Like, how has that shifted for you? Like, your view on adulthood?
That dream died so long.
You don't even know what the dream was no more.
I don't even know what the dream was, honestly. I can remember. I remember when I was in maybe the 4th grade, and we had this teacher from Wales. His name was Mr. Miles, and he made us draw this like create a business, right? And so I created a restaurant, and then I drew the restaurant, and I drew my house, and I had a landing pad for a helicopter on top of the restaurant. I had 2 cars. It was a 2-story house, right? My restaurant kind of this amount of people and right? And I say, I want to do this by 26, and then by 28, I want to have this, and then I'll be married by this. And so I was like, I don't even know where the time went. I don't even know, like, telling you I'm 35 just now, it reminded me of this is where we at, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I don't even, it's so sad. I feel like a lot of adulthood now is just spent developing and striving. I don't want to say surviving, because I think I'm a little bit past surviving, but it's a lot of striving. I don't always like it, but I'm grateful because I think I'm on a good side of adulting at the same time. I don't have much to complain about, except I have to work for money. You know what I mean? Like, I just, who did that? Who did that?
Is it so? I fully agree with you on that. I think that it is almost like, so to me, what you said is really true. Like, I don't even remember what the dream was.
Yeah,
I don't remember what the dream was. Do you think though, like, are you? Maybe I would assume that you would say yeah, but are you? Even though it isn't the helicopter restaurant and all these other things, are you proud of the adult that you are?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it's so weird, and I hate to say it. Sometimes I don't even feel like an adult. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm an adult.
Like, you used to grow up here, but
straight up, I have employees, bro.
I was going to say, especially at work.
Nieces and nephews or blah, but it's like, yeah. Am I proud? Sometimes, because if you play the comparison game, which I don't like,
okay,
you see people your age and even older that aren't doing as well as you are.
Okay.
At the same time, I'd be lying if I say I didn't want to be doing even better than I am now. Haven't had some things, haven't done some things. But then on the flip side, you kind of sober-minded about life, because you also realize, okay, a part of it is, hey, this life ain't even my own. Okay. So God kind of writing the story. Whether I in the will or not without the will, he kind of writing the story, as well as I kind of had a grandiose view of life anyway. I kind of had like this little slightly delusional view of life anyway. You know, like these certain, like when you was young, you want certain things by 20s, not realizing your 20s is still kind of young. You know, I saw this girl on TikTok. She described it. She was like, you kind of just came into yourself at your early 20s, because even from 1 to 16, you was in school. Yeah. You know what I mean? Your first couple of years out of school, you was trying to figure out navigating. Okay, what do I do now? You got your first job, so you're really trying to figure it out from you was like 20. From 20 to 30, you trying to get a handle of money, get your first car, everything's that depending on your background. You still learning. You know what I mean? So if I look at my life in the last 10 years, I think you're doing okay.
I'd say so.
Like you're doing okay.
I would say so. And what you said to me sort of when you said, because you talked about the role of comparison. So you say, if I compare myself to another 35-year-old, me turning 32 soon, if I compare myself to another 31 going to be 32-year-old, there may be certain things. But one of the things I always go back to do and say, okay, what would 16-year-old you, if only two versions of the world existed, only two people existed in the world right now, 16-year-old you and 35-year-old you, do you think the 16-year-old you would be proud of who 35-year-old you is?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
I think so. Because there's nobody else for 16-year-old Enrico to look at. Enrico only looking at 35-year-old based on what it was. He looking at the living conditions. He looking at the maturity level. He looking at all of that, babe. Looking at the fact that you in a position right now, if you want to, for the most part, you could be able to go do certain things that 16-year-old Enrico only thought didn't even exist. Go places that you didn't. You know what I mean? So simple things like that. And even personality, character, I think that if 16-year-old you certain things that he may have been into, like, babe,
for sure.
I'm glad you pushed that out of the way. I'm glad you kill it. I'm glad you don't do X, Y, and Z no more.
Nah, facts.
So I think that sometimes it's about taking that comparison out of the equation on the whole, out of the, the perspective on the whole, and just be like, nah, me against me. Am I proud of me? And I think that's the way that and it's easier said than done, because a lot we live in a place where, and I think about this, and it's kind of deviating a bit, but we're such consumerists, right? We consumerists not just in what we buy, but consumers in different people's life and ideas and stuff like that. And so it overpowers the other things that are equally as important or even more important.
I was just telling someone recently, I have some come up where, but so I try not to do the thing of like watching people live their life.
That's hard to do if that's all what we see online.
No, but like my TikTok, like if you open my TikTok right now, it's some kind of random relationship advice or encouraging life advice.
So when you say not watch people live like local people,
like lifestyle.
People,
Yeah, I don't watch Behemoth TikTok at all.
Right, so that's
for sure.
I agree.
Because that definitely would create a version of envy for me, for sure. I know that. I don't want to see you doing better than me. I don't mind you doing better than me. That's great if you are. Don't be rubbing that. But I don't rub it in my face. You know what I mean? I want to see it. You know what I mean? Like live your life for real. Because even for me, even now, I don't live my life on camera, and I don't see myself doing that. Yeah,
I get you.
Bits and pieces, sure, but I don't see myself living like lifestyle.
Doing lifestyle content.
Which means, and I don't like it. But I also don't even watch it for different people, because I don't want to be.
No, I totally
this constant place of discontentment of my own life.
No. It's a real thing. Like I said, we're consumerists. Again, that's the reason why I like TikTok over any other platform right now, because half the people in there I don't know. And like you, it's diverse. It's health, this girl running this marathon, this whatever I choose. Like you kind of get to do your algorithm in a sense. Little jokes here and there, and I love it. Then I come off. But in other spaces, we still get and being reminded of that. So I get it. I just think that sometimes we have to go back to the fact that, the real us know what we're supposed to be proud of and how far we've come.
Right.
So speaking of that, I want to talk a little bit about, again, the dream. The dream of what our parents were taught. I talked a little bit about this at the POP live episode, and we were talking about how, and with Shantae too, Shantae made a good point. Shantae said our parents were preparing us for a world that no longer exists. And so what she was basically highlighting was, okay, we were taught that 9 to 5. Go be the doctor, go be the lawyer. So interesting enough, two of us are sitting down there. I don't recall any of my parents saying to me, go be a lawyer. It was just a thing. Like that was what society said was success looks like. Her as a doctor, I think her sister's a doctor, and so maybe that may have been an influence, but I don't think she was ever probed to be that as well. So society would have said to us, okay, this is what success looked like, and our parents, most of us may say, okay, just go get a government job, go get a 9 to 5. Success was get a 9 to 5, go get one house, you doing good, right? Recently, I spoke at a high school summit, and I asked them, I was like, anybody else, I'm a lawyer, talking about different things. I'm like, anybody here wants to be a lawyer? Nobody raised their hand. When I tell you I was so proud, I was so
proud.
I was, because I was like, yes, like, and they started talking about different things that they wanted to be. And
like what?
So a guy was like, he wanted to do musician. He wanted to be a full-time musician. Okay. He wanted to do his own business, auto mechanic business. Okay. Another young lady, she said she wanted to be a marine engineer. Most of them were saying like basketball. Others is like beauticians. Most of them are beauticians. Like I want to do nails. I want to be a lash tech. I want to be an esthetician.
But at that age, though, you also have a limited view of what what is there to become too?
I don't think so. I think it's the reverse. Let me tell you why I'll challenge that a bit. So my biggest thing that I tell people now is these young people don't have no excuse pay. They have the access to everything that exists is at their fingertips. So what you could be and could not be versus us. But he was a full-time influencer when you and I were kids. That wasn't even a thing.
I get it. But if your algorithm only showing you a handful of things, then that's all you could see. So not until I was in college, I realized, you could be a civil engineer, or you could be a marine biologist. I didn't know those things existed.
Yeah, but there's more awareness around different careers that exist now, though, and what success looks like. Like even as simple as a realtor.
For sure.
A realtor, a barber. How much these barbers making now? As a guy, you would know, like, these are things that are now to the forefront that was not highlighted as a successful career before.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so proud, because it was like there's no longer a limited view on what success looks like. And so I think one of the things I want to talk to you about is, I know a bit of your story on, I guess, the journey to entrepreneurship.
Right.
And it goes against the grain of what in your time you probably would have been taught. So let's talk about that first. Let's talk about where was you need to go and get a job, or you need to go and get a degree, or you need to go be a police, a doctor, a lawyer, a spiel that was said to you from your parents or grandparents, or is that what you saw? And then, so let's talk about that first. You need to go and get successes, go be a doctor, lawyer, police, go get a government job.
No, not necessarily, because it's crazy. So I feel like, so your mom was pushing you to be a doctor or lawyer? No? Did she give you any direction at all?
At all.
Yeah, I didn't feel like
give me the teacher. I know she does.
Yeah, I didn't feel like mom gave me any direction either. I think it was just do good in school.
Okay.
Because I think what's so crazy, and you give your parents a little bit more grace now. I don't think my mom had it figured out. And I think you probably would be like direct your child more if you had a better grasp on what success was. I don't even think she was successful while I was in school to say this is what success would look like, by being honest. And so I think she just wanted me to do well in school, and she just kind of hoped.
Let's get through that. Let's get through this part.
And she just kind of hoped that I turned out well, and I think I did. I think she did her part, but I don't.
It wasn't agreeing, like, forced or impressed upon you to do a particular thing or go a particular
I wanted to do certain things, but they're just random impressions that just happen.
That's interesting. So, okay, let's talk then about your own journey to entrepreneurship. Obviously, you did college, you did the thing. So let's talk about that for those that don't know. What was your path to entrepreneurship? How did you land so they don't know where you're at. So let's walk us through the story and land and where you at.
Okay, I gotta make it short because it's kind of a long story. Yeah. So I went to college, right? I studied business management at first.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So going back to the dream.
Okay.
I didn't know what I wanted to be, but I always knew that I wanted to be a businessman. Like I saw myself like.
It's interesting.
I saw myself like going to work every day, dressed up in a suit, driving a nice car, sitting behind a desk, doing some important work, pushing some paper. I just didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I think I was good with people, and so I feel like business management just kind of made sense. As well as a part of the dream was, okay, be the business manager. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah,
I never knew you did business management, but it makes so much sense. Why did you switch?
I switched because...
Switch to, because they don't know.
I switched to psychology because when I gave my life to Christ, and that switched up a lot of thinking in my mind.
You were in college before you became a Christian?
No, that happened in college. Oh. And then I wanted to help people, and so I felt like helping people. I felt that would have been that was more in line with who I was and helping people. It was cool. Like,
how do you feel about the switch? Like, in hindsight now?
I think psychology is a dope degree, but I think it's a dope degree if you plan to go all the way. If you plan to get a master's or a doctor's and you plan to teach or study, that would be my... You know what I mean? But I couldn't afford to get a master's or go further than that, and I also didn't see me doing that. And so it's also a good base nonetheless, because it's a good springboard to get, if you plan on getting a master's, whatever master's you get, coupled with that, I think that's people see that as good experience if you could speak well and kind of sell it well. But I'm a full-time entrepreneur. So if I was to go back in the work field, my experience as a CEO plus a degree in business management probably would have sold better. However, this just today. This season 35. I don't know what the other seasons could look like.
Yeah.
You know, but I like it. And then what I didn't say is after I graduated, I went to seminary. So
Seminary in preparation for this, just
seminary
fleshing out the story
is,
for those that don't know.
for those that don't know. Some people don't know what seminary is. So seminary is, I guess, you go to university to be a pastor. And so I started seminary. I think I did like two years part-time. And I won't say it's not for me. I just feel like the timing of it was in right. And the whole program that I was in. And so I resigned from that. And then I did that so early, like so fresh.
That's true. How old were you?
I was like 25, 26. And I did that so early and so fresh after college that I never really thought to myself what to do next after college.
Or if this doesn't work out, then...
Yeah. Well, not even if it doesn't work out, because you don't think like that if you're going to seminary. You just
That's fair.
think it could work out, right? But I never thought. So when you graduate, I assume you have a little lull of what next. Especially if you graduate with a specialty degree.
But then, okay, but you that's a question. It's squared to me because it sounds like that was a question that you asked after graduation. Usually that's a question you ask within that last year.
But again, once again, psychology is a unique degree in the Bahamas as well.
Right. So hold on. So let's flash this out. You start the idea to do seminary was after you graduated. It wasn't even something that you started thinking about like in your last year of your degree?
Yeah, no, definitely not. No.
Oh, okay. So what, those persons that I know would go like to do like guidance counseling. I've seen.
No.
Oh.
It was after I graduated. It happened because I was a part of a church program that I was,
Right. Okay.
Long story short, that I switched gears from that, and then I didn't know what to do. Didn't think about it. And then I used to say that I stumbled into it, but today I realized that wasn't the case. But I kind of just walked into what I knew how to do, which was sell.
Okay.
I was always selling. From when I was young, I was selling.
Selling. Let's quantify this now. You gotta be.
Yo! Nigga say pause. Pause.
Careful.
It's like selling. So at that point in time, nigga come back to selling. Let me land the blade, man. This is crazy, bro. Pause. Pause.
Okay.
Killing me right now.
Okay.
So when I first came out of school, before college, I used to work at the bank for a bit. And so I used to sell cars. I used to sell cars in between. And so selling cars was kind of natural to me. So I did that for a bit. But I lied. I went back to the bank. I went back to the bank for a little bit. I saved up some money and I realized I wasn't a banker. I don't like it. I don't like the system of banking. Like I like the idea of it, not the system of it. So I saved up some money. I started selling cars on the side. It was cool. I was just hustling, but like legit, I was doing everything. I was washing cars. I was washing windows, a bunch of stuff while I was selling cars. And then I was consistently doing that. I wasn't touching the money. I saved a lot. And then I was selling clothes before that too. You remember that? I was selling clothes. Remember I had the white Hyundai?
Yeah, I don't remember you ever doing that.
Yeah. I was selling clothes literally from my trunk. The plug collection.
I only know about the plug.
That's clothes.
Yeah, but the plug that you talking about you and Tori plug?
Yes.
I feel like you skipped. I feel like that's fast. That's way forward.
That's what I remember. I remember the plug. I remember selling clothes. Shout out to my boy Pablo. Rest in peace, Pablo. He put me on to selling clothes. I got into clothes, and after clothes, it was working, but it was just too much work. And then I went into cars, and then I had a few cars selling at a time. And then I remember I sold a car to this particular guy, and then it was just really cool divine connection because I sold him a car, and it was funny because he and I had a tough conversation on the phone. He's trying to lowball me. And then I was like, bro, I ain't selling this car to this nigga. And then he called me back, He called me back and he's like, so you can send me this car or not? And I was like, bro, I tell you this car. So this back in the day when the car's going for like $5,000 and 5.5. You trying to give me $4,000 for the car? I said, bro, I tell you, I ain't selling my car for no $4,000. What you calling me back for? I say, bro, man, I trying to give you a sale, man. I trying to. All right, bring the car. I can give you 4 or 5. Blah, 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 blah. 4 or 5 was still low, but I was like, whatever. Let me just flip it and go. I can make some money, whatever. Long story short, when I went to his place, I sold him the car. We deal with the transaction. So let's just say I arrived at this place. I went inside, got the cash, deal with the money. By the time as I come back outside, all the stuff was clean off the glass. The stickers was on the car. The rental plates was on the car. The car was ready to be rented one shot. Before, like in that space of time, he had fellas preparing the car to be rented. And he was like, but that car getting rented tomorrow. I was like, for real? And I just remember riding off, like very impressed and very like, yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, what's going on with that? And it was just put in my spirit to say, the person who drove me, I say, turn around, let me go ask him something. So he's like, you serious? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I turn around, ask him about it. First thing he says, you see how you get me on the phone? I shouldn't help you.
You almost missed out on this.
It was messed up. He said, I shouldn't help you. I said, man, come on, man. You get me out too, bro. You know what I mean? Long story short, that was the divine connection. He was the connection to me getting my rental plates.
That wasn't someone that you knew personally?
I didn't know him.
I always knew you had by the way that you spoke about him, I always thought it was someone that's a family friend or something.
We cool now, but I didn't know him at the time.
I never knew. I always thought it was like a family. I thought it was a family friend or something.
Yeah. So I definitely believe Holy Spirit like prompted me to reach out and ask him. I definitely believe it was destined for him to, for me to sell him that car. But that got me into rentals, and that was cool because at that time I didn't know rentals wasn't as big as it is now. So I didn't know many people who was renting cars, and I always had in my mind like it was a
short period of time.
No, I had in my mind it was only reserved for like.
Oh, like companies Hertz and
a bigger group of people.
Like that's the only way you can make money.
That's the only way you know it. I didn't know you could rent with 4 or 5 cars. I didn't know that. I thought you had a lot. You had this and that.
Okay.
And then I got into that, and then from there, I realized, going back to the book I was reading, I am a technician in regard to I know how to sell, but I am also good with people. And I am also good with bookkeeping. I'm also good with money. And so it just grew. And then now we still renting cars, and we just got a lot more. We still selling cars, and it's just, we doing well.
So all the stuff too, electronics, you do whatever.
Yeah, so, it's like side quests.
And so I saw your thing, the thing that people have been doing, that's trending now on AI. So you let chat write a biography for you or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had paused yours to read it, and it was why I laugh is because it was like it say something like you'd be randomly doing whatever and then think of a business idea, try to figure out how I could turn this particular idea into a business, etc. And I feel like that is naturally when you get to think about the fact because you said early on when you said, I thought I just stumbled into this or something like that, not realizing that it's something that you always been doing. And that's a part of it when we think about like the way that we were made up. And if you pay attention to certain characteristics, like nobody teach you them things, those are ingrained in you.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Wait, I could remember when I was in the 9th grade, we used to we used to go in a store in the mall, and we used to thief pens at the mall.
Oh my god!
And it was like really nice pens, and then we used to bring it back to school and
sell it.
Sell it for like $2, $3, whatever. And that might sound small, but if you go to Fun Day with $20 in your pocket, bro, you lit. You lit.
I get that.
And that's my 20. My mommy gave me 10. My uncle gave me 1 too. My auntie gave me 1 too. I get $40 in my pocket.
You rich.
I good.
You rich. And that's a real thing. And I just think that how much times that we don't pay attention. And that's why I'm saying too, like, going back to what may have been taught to us culturally or traditionally, or certain parents, you and I obviously didn't have that based on what you said, but those that have parents that say, no, you have to be X, Y, and Z, except they don't pause and try to figure out, what is it that my child is naturally gifted at? Could that be the thing that they should be, doing? And I know persons now that's struggling with that with their kids. Like, how do you be able to probe them? Like, life is getting hard. Reality of it is, you and I have bills. Like, you went the entrepreneurship route. I could also say that I could be an entrepreneur. There is an entrepreneur in me, and I still do it on the side with my business or anything else. Anything I think and I could sell, I'll do it.
Right.
But I also know that, I'm grateful for the fact that I have this stable career. I think that I could have excelled at anything.
For sure.
But so I always, when parents say, oh, how would you recommend whatever? I'm like, prepare your child for the world that exists.
Facts.
The world that exists could take an entrepreneur, but it could also be very beneficial for your child or your whomever to be able to do a stringent 9 to 5, to be disciplined, like passionate and all of this. To your point, if they technical, that ain't gonna survive. They need to be able to be the technician. Sorry, you know what I mean?
And cars isn't my passion. I really like cars.
I think so. Here's the thing. I think for you, running a business, operating a business, being an entrepreneur is your passion, you would say?
Right. Well,
so in a sense, I feel like that's more was the inclined thing. You could sell anything.
Legit.
So I don't tie it to the product. I tie it to the mechanism of watching something grow and plotting into that and figuring out the logistics and all. I think that is where passion lies, like the fuel for you. So that's more of the point. But I think about persons who say their child may want to be an artist. That's passion. But you're trying to figure out in the Bahamas, you trying to live with me forever?
I'm bothered with that. Well, let me not say I'm bothered with that because it's so tricky being a time where
it's evolving.
You could pop.
I know, and my shout out to Denzel. Denzel and I graduated from the same high school. Denzel does like art. Forgive me, like if it's this, I don't know how to canvas art, but he's also known now for painting, building murals.
He's really good. Make money?
He's make good money. And then you have other people that do different things, like who've opened art studios and stuff like that, or do art classes. They found a way to make their passion and their gift, like the Bible say, make room for them. And I think that's fine. But I think you also have to know how to, because I'm only saying this because of the conversation I recently had with someone trying to figure out, what do I tell this child? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, no.
But sweetie,
that's a tough one for real.
Don't think you can live up under this roof for free talking, but you want pink. No, sweetie.
It's a tough one for real.
You gotta lock in.
And you know what? I think I remember watching this the shop
episode thing with LeBron knows. Mm-hmm.
Right, and it was what's the guy's name? Who's LeBron's manager?
I can't remember him, the short guy.
Yeah, the question was asked to him: would you tell your son if he said he wanted to be an agent or whatever? Or no, if he said he wanted to be a rapper, because there was rappers there, right?
Yeah, they do what? Yeah.
And he was like, "That's tough," because he was
Paul.
Yeah, Rich Paul. Mm-hmm. So he was saying that's tough because obviously we know a lot of successful rappers, but we don't. But there are way more people who don't make it. So his thing was, he would encourage him to do it, but you got to show me you're really serious about this, and that's not just rapping for me in the front room, rapping for me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Go out there. He said, I'll even give you a certain budget. I give you this 10 grand. Make something from this. If you bust up that 10 grand, you show me you ain't ready. If you can't produce something from that 10, you ain't ready. And I was like, that's pretty solid. Because you could do a lot if you're resourceful, and you could do a lot if you're really good. And in this day and time, you could pop if you solid.
So with that being said, my follow-up question would be: how has your view on success then changed now that you're an entrepreneur? How has it shifted for you? Because for some people, let me. I don't want to impose a point, so let me let that marinate first. How has your view on success shifted now as an entrepreneur?
Shifted.
What was your view of success when you were younger? What does success look like to you in your mind?
Success. When I was young, I wasn't thinking about success. No? I was thinking about money.
Right. So to me, that's having money to you may have been success.
Having money to me still is successful because today in the real world, I would, like, even my little bro, I tell people all the time, like, bro, like, anybody, like, your passion is cool. But you can't go to BP with passion.
Facts.
You can't go to Rev with passion. You can't go to the realtor with passion. You got to be making money. And I also encourage people not to chase money. Okay. Because it's a million rabbit holes. But, I don't know. Let me start with this. As an entrepreneur, I appreciate the fact that I no longer have a traditional view of life and making money, right? Okay. One of my favorite quotes that I saw recently was that I became an entrepreneur when I realized it doesn't take an hour to make $10. Right? When you think about that, let's just say you make $25 an hour, $50 an hour. Doesn't take an hour to make $50. And in my world, That's how I think, right? I could make $300 from a client. That could happen in 30 minutes. That could happen in 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And some people, a painter can, well, probably take them a few hours, but you know, a realtor can make a bunch of money in a short period of time. A hairstylist can make a chunk of money in a short period of time. A makeup artist can make a chunk of money, where a makeup artist can make someone's day's pay in an hour.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so it's just one of those things where the longer you do that, the more you realize that, hey, the more I do this, the better I get at this, the more money I can make. And so you move away from, I will make 500 a week, or I want to make 1,000 a week, or make $2,000 a week, to perfecting your craft, to be good at it, to make a certain amount of money a month, a year, etc. So I still have dollar figures in my mind. I still want to be a 6-figure earner, X, Y, Z.
Right.
And yeah, that's the next thing. My business makes 6 figures, right? But making 6 figures in my business means nothing if I ain't taking that home.
Yeah.
Right? So
still got expenses you gotta pay.
I gotta pay expenses like X, Y, Z.
You gotta put out to get that.
Exactly. And so it changes my view of money also. Like 6 figures don't even look as big to me anymore. Because if I ain't getting it, you know what I mean?
But even in the grand scheme of what it is, the economy is like...
No, but if one little 105, one little 107, 120,
I can scratch a little something, a little something.
But and even that, another point, I wasn't thinking about those numbers when I was on the job. Granted, I've been on the workforce for a long time. I've been an entrepreneur for 7 years, right? I haven't been in the job for a long time. However, I always ask people salaries. I asked you this, you still didn't tell me, but whatever. Not because I want to know your business, a little bit, but more so because, and shout out to Carell, she taught me this, you know, we don't have the money conversation enough in the Bahamas, and it was always taboo, but it's important because not until you have the money conversation, you realize what's out there.
We talked about the POP Pop Life too. And we're saying that, like, encouraging people to talk about money.
You did.
And I do tell people who work in the field.
Exactly. What's out there, how much people are making, your neighbor. You could be sitting, you and I sitting on the couch, I'm making $30,000, you're making $90,000.
And doing the same thing.
And doing the same thing. Or doing something similar. We're the same age. Until you realize, wait, someone out there 32 making $90,000. Someone out there 35 making $120,000.
Then you know what the standard really is. Because sometimes you think the ceiling is here, and it's like, nah, bro. Like, you got to think higher. You think it's small. You gotta be
think big. And then two, even my view of entrepreneurs, I had a low ceiling of entrepreneurs because I only knew entrepreneurs at a certain stage in entrepreneurship, right? And now I'm at the place in my journey where I could have employees and I could have people working and doing stuff. And so now the level of entrepreneurship is different. And you just feel different. You just feel different. So my idea of success has expanded tremendously because I feel like entrepreneurship doesn't allow you to live a normal life. Time I go to bed, time I wake up, how I spend my days.
That's for sure.
How I spend my days is different. Some days I like it, some days I don't. Honestly, I miss the structure. I miss having a job laid out for you. I'm literally creating the job as we speak, literally. But I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
I like that too. I like that for you. I think you've done it very, very well. I think that anytime I talk about people or I listen to people talking about the fact that they want to do full-time entrepreneurship, I just bring up your name because I'm like, I have a friend that does it very, very well. He's able to like legit live well. Like he ain't pussing, he ain't like Johnson. Like he's legit in a position to really take care of himself. And I think that's commendable. I don't think that people talk about it enough. Like you said, there's a stage of entrepreneurship where we see people still hustling after X amount of years. So people just think that this all it ever is. But I think people also have to know that you put in the work. Like you spend the money, you invest in it, you make sure that you cultivate yourself so that you can move from being the technician to the other person, etc. And I think it's a short-sighted thing that we don't talk about enough.
I want a Honda so bad.
Let's move on. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you right
now.
Switching gears completely because we ain't even get halfway through. Okay, this is something that I feel like for us, I was like, I'm going to skip this all together because we are so different in this area. Like we talk about relationships and stuff like that all the time. Like I think that, so here's the thing, for people that always just ask the question of, he's single, you single, da-da-da. Here's what I think that people don't understand. And we probably can flesh into that. I think our friendship has taught me that you could be so compatible in so many different ways, but if at the core you don't share the same view, or even even the fact that, because I think I said this, I don't know where it was, I know you was there and I use as an example. Sometimes people have to realize that friendship is the peak for a particular relationship, and that's fine. Like, it don't always have to go into something else. And I think that our relationship and the way that we talk about so much things and stuff that I really wanted to bring to the pod, because like, people don't really dive into real conversation, real aspects of relationships, whatever type of relationship it is, because we've been friends for over 10 years and we used to have our little row days, our little moments or whatever. But I think what I valued most about our friendship is our ability to be mature, our ability to be communicators, our ability to be eyeing for one another and be able to say, nah, that wasn't cool, and being able to take it, to be receptive of it. But this is a part of our thing. I think that we're similar in our thought patterns with respect to relationships, but I think that there are parts that we don't agree on. I think we've learned to agree to disagree.
Let's see.
This is gonna be from your perspective, so I'm not debating you on this. I'm not doing this with you. No, not today. Okay, so you're 35 and single, never married, never even engaged.
Damn.
And no kids.
Damn.
What are you gonna go on? A red flag. That's a red flag right there. That's a breakdown.
Crazy.
Okay, so we spoke privately about how happy we both are to actually still be single. Like, I think we both said that we are very grateful that we did not do the marriage thing yet, because we've learned more about ourselves. We've learned more about our singleness. Since then, I can let you dive in. I can see you marinating on something. Mm-hmm. But I would, because maybe you could answer it or state that point in answering the question. What do you value most about your singleness? Because you've been single for, you've been in relationships.
Yeah, for sure. What I value the most is how much I know today.
Okay.
Right? So, and it's not that I'm happy I'm still single. I'm happy I didn't get married young.
Okay.
Right? From the first time I thought I wanted to be married, which is like 22 or 25.
Mm-hmm. So I got married, this girl.
Yeah, I two people right now, married, one shot. I don't need no wedding. But I'm happy because who I was then, number one, is I didn't change skin like 4 times, bro. Like crazy. 4 times.
I feel you on that.
And then I know so much about love and marriage and relationship and life. I'm a better person, provider, friend, counselor, all of that, nurturer. So I didn't even know those things needed. I didn't even know I needed to be those things, let alone have grown and developed in those areas. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, but I know.
Yeah, that's what you know. But let's talk about that though. So like, let me flip it, because I think it's one and the same. A part of it too is when I talk to other millennials, one of the things that they often speak on is the fact that we have seen, and some of us are products of healthy marriages, and some of us are products of unhealthy marriages. Right. And one of the things that I love most about my friends that are our age, that are in their 30s, early, late, whatever, I think that millennials are doing marriage a bit different. I think that is no longer, especially the women. I only could speak to the women. I think some men are really honorable in their marriages as well. But I think for the most part, women are a bit more vocal in what they want. Times has changed as far as the freedoms that women have. They don't have to settle for a situation where their husband have 10 outside children, but he's the only breadwinner inside the house, so I gotta stay. Woman ain't sitting around putting up with abuse. Woman ain't sitting around in relationships that look good on paper, but emotionally it's not there, it's not compassion. How do you think millennials' view on marriage has changed over the years? Like wanting to get married, and some saying I don't need to get married. And how they want to show up as wives and husbands. How do you think that's evolved over time from what you and I grew up under, what you may have seen in your grandparents' marriage, aunts and uncles' marriage? How do you think millennials do it different, or do you think we do it different at all?
Yeah. So what I'm realizing is there's Christian millennials and then there's non-Christian millennials. I think that makes a difference. Because if I wasn't, I think I'd been married a long time. But
does it change in the values? Because some of the marriages I'm talking about, two of the ones that I think that I'm speaking of that come to my mind when I think about healthy ones, for the most part, they're not Christians. But just their whole view on marriage, to me...
You know what? I think we talked this before. I didn't have a front row seat to a lot of healthy marriages.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of marriages, no shade to any person that I know you married. I've seen a lot of marriages, but nothing where I would go, gosh, I can't wait to do that. You know, not so many. Not to say that I didn't see a lot of cool examples, just nothing that really blew my mind coming up. And then to be honest, I only had my family around me. My mom is divorced. My aunts, them are always married, but I didn't have a close front row seat. And then they cool, but then like, oh my gosh, they're so great.
So, okay, so has any, whether the good or bad ones, is when you now, because you've been single longer, how do you think that helps you in preparation for being married? Like, do you think it has any impression on you at all?
A lot.
And in what way? Like, how do you think that you're going to do marriage different then?
So I'll tell you this. Growing up, I could tell a lot of dudes did the thing where they married the girl that looked great.
Okay.
Like, I think it was a thing where you want to marry this quiet, like, nice looking woman, but she quiet. She don't eat much to her XYZ. Whereas, not even mysterious, just
regular,
just soft spoken type of vibe, right?
Okay.
Today,
that's all like that.
Exactly, because that's what's perpetuated.
Okay.
Today, I'm so like just aware of what I like in my type. You know what I mean, as a woman. And I realized that first of all, I ain't dating for men, right? That's the next thing. But I grew up around niggas dating for niggas, meaning I like her for real, but I gotta date her because she can make me look good in front of the boys.
She set the standard, the societal
standard. The standard.
Yeah.
She does. Today, bro, I don't care. I like what I like.
Did that come with maturity and age, or like
experience,
within your
maturity, experience, time, age, etc.
Does your faith play any role in that at all, you think?
Not that part. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
My faith plays a role in the fact that I want a woman seeking God for real. But the way you look, that's natural. You know what I mean? You know what I like.
Move on.
You know what I like, bro. You know I go, I see it.
Move on now.
I took something now.
You trying to shout out? Let's go, baby.
So, yeah, I mean, I like. No, it's not about what I like. Yeah, it did shape. It did. Growing up, I saw a lot of stuff that I realized I didn't want to carry over. Like people choosing people for what they think other people could like. People choosing people that they didn't seem like they naturally liked. So my idea now is I want to choose someone I genuinely like. Like I like you as a person. Like I've dated people where I like you romantically, but I don't know if I didn't like you romantically, if I would be friends with you.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
I feel that.
So someone I genuinely like, someone I genuinely care about, someone who's kind, not just to me, but who's a kind person. Everyone kind to the person they like. That's normal.
Yeah.
You ain't freaking me out with that. But how are you to strangers? How are you to people that you don't have to be kind to?
So because I feel like